Hello and welcome to my latest video. In this one what I'm going to do is obviously some more budget gadgets. What I'm going to do is challenge myself to recreate something that Jon Gadget, who's another fellow YouTuber, he made himself an everyday carry pack on a budget. He gave himself a challenge of under £100, and he actually did it for, I think it was £84 or £86. So I'm going to try and beat that. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'll show you exactly, well, not exactly, but my recreation of his everyday carry. So basically, he got himself a wallet, a penknife. He also had, which I don't have, but a small pen. He was using the small one like that you can actually take the lid off, which makes it into a full size pen, if you know what I mean. He used a carabiner and a torch. Now the one he used, which I'm going to include, was a very small light he used. So this is roughly the size and shape of the one he uses. So put all the stuff together that he's used. He also put in a little piece of paper to emergency notes. And I'm going to show you all the other things. I'm going to see if I can do something else slightly better afterwards. But for now, that's basically his setup. So I'm just going to show you if I can. So here is the pouch. This one, again, all the things I'm using are a budget version of what Jon made his everyday carry. I'm just showing you what you can actually do on a real budget. So this is the wallet stroke pouch that I'm using. I'll put the price on screen now as well. On the back there you can see there's some nice little pockets there. So the penknife I'm going to slide in there. The torch I'm going to slide in there. And I'm going to tuck the pen in, I think there. No, actually that feels a bit loose. Let me just try it in there. And again, it's nothing like the pen that he uses. All these things are, I'm going to say inferior quality to the stuff he used. It's just an example of how cheap you can do the things that he does on his videos. So I'm going to put the notepad in there, keep that safe. And then he throws in a few cards and a bit of money and even some coins in there, and you can see that's still relatively flat and nice. And he has a carabiner on his as well. So I'm going to just clip this one on. Now this is slightly awkward. It's like a double gate carabiner. So you can clip that onto your belt or loop, whatever you want, or put your keys on there, and you can even put your keys on, put it in the pouch and zip it up. But for now I'm going to just keep that like that there. So that is a recreation of Jon's budget everyday carry. So I'm going to put on screen again now all the separate items. So the carabiner, then the wallet, pen, penknife, light. So that should all be on screen now. But what I'm going to do now is something that I think is slightly better. when you're doing an everyday carry, it all depends on what your preferences are, what you want to carry. So I'm not saying Jon's wrong. All I'm saying is, for me personally, if I wanted an everyday carry, I'm going to show you now what I think is a slightly better idea. So those are some of the items that I think you almost definitely will want to carry. You've got a few cards, bit of money, bit of change, a carabiner, which in this case is also a bottle opener, and a flat screwdriver there. I'm going to just put this little pen from one of those supermarkets, tiny bit of paper, because it is a good idea to just have something to write some notes on. And then I'm going to quickly choose, which I think is not just my favourite torch, because that's probably my favourite, but it is quite weighty. And this is an everyday carry. So at the end of the day, you're probably not going to be using possibly all of these items, but they're only there in case. It's your everyday carry, so it's just in case you want to carry something round. A few more multi-tools, pens, and all the different sort of baggage that I'm going to be using. And I'll just skip through a few things quickly now with you that I think are sort of quite a good idea. This little item, it's just a little wrist carry, which you can quite easily put a few cards and your money and even a bit of change if you want in there. I'm not going to put the change in for now, I'm just showing you what it looks like. So if you're wanting an everyday carry and you only want to carry a few small items, you put your change in your pocket, you've got your money and cards in there, you could even put your little bit of paper in there if you wanted, and you've still got room in your pockets for other things. Again, I'm trying to tell you, if you want an everyday carry but you don't want to carry everything around with you, that's one quite quick and easy. But for this video, this is the everyday carry pouch I'm going to use. Because if you're like me and you want to carry something around with you, I'd rather carry maybe slightly too much than not enough. Now, whilst I admit this won't go in your pocket, obviously, but it will clip on your belt loop. This one, again, you can undo these two clips and you can slip them through some of those if you just want, or all of them, or none. So in this case, I'm not going to clip any of them through there. I would just be putting my belt through there. You've also got that loop as well, which you can put your carabiner on. So I'm going to put my carabiner on because you never know, you might need it. It's handy as well because it's got the little bottle opener on. So I'm going to put a proper pen in. And I'll slide in nicely down that one there. Like that. I'm going to put a slightly better, oh, maybe not better, but my choice of penknife would be something with a pair of pliers on. I've got a little pair of cutters there as well, and you've also still got a good range of certain tools that you can, if I can get them all out for you. So you've got a knife, a little screwdriver, crosshead screwdriver, a little file there as well, and then on the other side, like a mini saw, another mini knife, some sort of like a pick there, and then you've got your bottle opener as well there. I'm just going to show you another one quickly. This isn't the one I'm choosing today, but this has the addition of your bottle opener, a bit slightly bigger crosshead screwdriver, choice of all, a few little things there, can opener, pair of scissors on this one, again slightly bigger blade, another sort of a saw, would you call it, and another saw type thing. So I'm going to mention that one because I think that's quite good, but I just think, you know, it's everyday carry. I don't think you'll need all of those things, but I'd just like to carry something around. So like the one Jon showed you in his, that's quite good. I just think that's slightly better. So I'm going to include that one in there, and I'm going to put that in the front pouch there. My choice of torch. Again, I mentioned that one. That is a fantastic torch. It's got the zoom facility on it, and dimmer, and flash. Rechargeable. You can put it in your belt instead if you want of putting it in your... And that would fit, but I want something slightly lighter. The one I've shown you before, these little rechargeable ones, they're really good, really handy. That would fit. Again, you could just clip that on your belt or just on that carabiner on there. I'm going to rule it out for now. This one, I really like this one as well. So you've got the two bright lights on the side. Now, I quite like this function where you can swivel it around. So it's got a little clip on there, so you can put it on your top pocket if you want. Put it on your peak of your cap if you want. And then you've got it as a torch where you watch going. You've got magnets on there. You've even got a little digital readout, tells you how much percentage of battery strength you've got there. So it goes down in increments. You've got your flash in and then off. And then this bit here, if you press and hold, it comes on. So you've got like a more of a floodlight style, but it also has a red light and your blue, flashing between the red and blue and off. That's definitely one of my favourites. I'm going to keep that there for now. This is also a really handy little one, rechargeable again. It's got a magnet on the base. That's where you charge it up from, so two different styles to charge it up. Again, you've got two different style of, you've got your front one pointing, oops, sorry, turned it off, and you've got a few different settings. Turn it off, and then you've got the floodlight one on the front, which is a slightly different button, completely different button. And again, you can go through the different settings by that, and if I'm right, you can put them both on at the same time. Obviously the battery's not going to last as long, but that's really light, very small and handy. So just comparing the two. I don't know if that looks much different on the camera, but I think this one's slightly better. So I'm going to turn them both off. I'm going to roll this one out, prefer this one. I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of others that were in the running. This is obviously a really nice slim torch, which you've got a front spotlight, but it is a bit more like a floodlight, and then you've got your dedicated floodlight. It's quite good. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to keep that one for there now as well. This other tiny little one, this is a really good little torch. Again, rechargeable. You've got your zoom function there. Flash, and then you've got your floodlight style one there. Handy little clip as well. I don't think that spotlight one is quite good enough. This is one that I have around the house, handy all the time, which has got a fantastic beam on it, and it's got the angle thing like that as well. I'm going to roll that one out. I think it's slightly too heavy. And then we come to these two, which are both very similar. This one's slightly heavier. They've both got the on with the zoom. As you can see, the ones in my right hand, I think, is quite a bit brighter, slightly better zoom capability as well. And then you've both got the floodlight. Now, ironically, the floodlight one on the left-hand side is slightly better than the one on the right. But this one also has the additional change of colour and flashing red, which could come in handy. And this one comes with like a dome light, and then you've got a blue, red and green caps you can put on. Not that I would be carrying them around with me for an everyday carry, but really, really good torch. Again, it's maybe just slightly too big to put in my pouch for an everyday carry. So yeah, I'm going to rule that out. Just slightly too big for an everyday carry. And I'm going back to these two. One's got the advantage of being quite a bit smaller, slim than the other, so it might be able to fit in a bit easier, but there's so much room in here at the moment. I'm going to go to which I think is sort of, for an everyday carry, my favourite. I'm just going to slot it in there. I'm going to put my cash coins in there. And then I'm going to put my little paper notepad thing, my cards in there. And then I've already used a better pen than this. I just wanted to sort of show you how small a pen you can get. And if it's just for an emergency, do you need to be spending a lot of money on a pen? But yeah, that one I showed you that I'm using. These are one of my favourites. They just seem to write really nicely and it feels good. So that's the one I'm using. And there we go. Those are all the items that I've put in that Jon said he would use. I would also put my phone in there because that's got plenty of room to put your phone in. You've also then got room for putting corded, or I've got my cordless headphones. So I'm just going to put them next to the torch there. It's still okay, size-wise. And what else do you think you might possibly need? I need to wear glasses nowadays for reading, so they're going to fit in there quite easily. I would maybe put them in a little protection pouch so they don't get scratched, but if I put them in the front there, they're okay. And still got room for keys quite easily. You've got another pouch there. If you want something that's a bit more instantly accessible, you can put that in there. So let's say, I'm just going to put this in for it, just to show you. Look, that clips on quite nicely there. Zip it all up. I quite like that, the way one goes the opposite way to the other. So if you want to remember which side your phone is, it's the one that you zip from the left. And there you go. So you can, again, you can put your keys on there if you want. Zip it through your, not zip it, put your belt through there, or you don't have to take your belt off. You can just clip them, put them around your belt, and on you go. And to me, that has got just about everything I can possibly think of that I'm going to need during the day. Everyday carry. And there's still plenty of room to put other things on if you want. So I'm just going to quickly list on the screen some of the items that I've put in there. In fact, all of them. I'll put them all on here. Add them all up. And the cost should come to, get my leg out of the way, something like that. So again, Jon with his budget, £100 one. And again, I'm not going to say he is wrong, but this budget is much tighter. And I'm not trying to say the items I'm using are better quality. In fact, I know they're not, but it's my everyday carry. This is what I would want to carry around with me on a regular basis. I don't think it's necessary to spend a lot of money on a torch that you might not use, etc. And there you go, that's all the things I've got in. So there you go. I hope you like that video. I've got plenty more, obviously, gadgets and things I can show you. So you let me know, what do you want me to have a look at next? Is there a particular gadget that you really like the look of? For example, a fold up pair of wire snippers. They've got a special little thing for stripping the outer piece off, or you know, for all the different sizes there. That was that price. Folds up. That would have gone in my everyday carry if I'm an electrician and I need to carry them around. That's really handy, isn't it? But anyway, I digress. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. See you later. Bye.